Hello! And we are finally here. We did it. This took us a while. Okay, so since we've wasted a bunch of time, let's hop right into it. Um, Welcome to Fight for What You Believe, a Burning Will actual play live stream set in the world of Castile, created by us, the four of us, using the quiet here. This is a show about compelling characters, what they believe in, and the vibrant world that we've created for them. Castile is rich with intrigue, these large beast companions called the Kin, and many interesting, powerful locations like the Ivory Tower, the volcano, and much more. My name is Corey. I am going to be the GM for this session. My pronouns are he, they. And with me, we have three wonderful players. Do we want to start with Zach? Could you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, that's me. I'm Zach. He, him pronouns. I will be playing Lord Reginald Wenzy, a lord and a member of the Kim militia in the land of Castile, riding around on dinos, and plotting, scheming.
Sweet. Maria, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Maria. Use she, their pronouns. And I am going to be playing Robin, who uses she, her pronouns, and was accused and is going to be tried for things that she did not do, like bring a storm that did a lot of damage and such.
Yep. And we have joining us now Taryn. Taryn, would you like to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your character, please?
Hi everybody, I'm Taryn. I'm finally back after a couple of rough weeks. So anyway, I'm playing Speaker Dwyn, who is a member of the Church of the Ancestors and has a connection to the spirit world around them. And yeah, we'll get into that a little bit more.
Cool. One thing that we did last stream is we quickly went over everyone's beliefs and instincts just to give everyone a highlight of their character. Do we want to do that with Dwyn? Do you want to? Okay, cool. I'll let you walk us through, and I'll open it up so that it's also on Roll20.
Cool stuff. But yeah, so Dwyn's beliefs are I will move the church forward by determining Robin's guilt through the ancestors. I will convert my love no matter the cost so that I don't anger the ancestors. And I will pull the nobility back into the church of the ancestors and I will lead them.
Cool. Do you want to tell us your instincts and traits?
Yes. So instincts are always dream before making big decisions. If someone questions the ancestors, I can't help but educate them. And I never ask for directions, which comes into play with one of the traits that I have. So my character traits are devout, curious, gossip, and disturbed. And then die traits too.
Yep, go for it.
I have believer, which basically helps with faith obstacles. Dreamer, the character's dreams that the GM gives, they're always relevant to the game at hand. The one that I never asked for direction ties into is lost. I have double obstructions on orienteering and navigation or any perception to find the right direction. Touch of ages, I can read objects through touch. Perception basically to learn some things about objects. And well-traveled, because I get lost, I end up a lot of places. So
Awesome. Great. So what we'll do is we already went over everyone's beliefs beforehand, so I think since we're starting a little bit late, we'll skip doing the extensive breakdown because we've already looked at those. What we can do, though, is we can start talking about what scenes we want to do. I think the first thing that we're going to see, though, now that we have Dwyn back, is maybe a quick introduction with him, because we know that he is a dreamer, and we've got some stuff ready with that we can take a look at. So I'll maybe describe what the dream is, and then Taryn, if you want afterwards, you can show us a little bit of what Dwyn looks like and what their abode is, and a little bit about that. Cool. So we see it's very dark, as dreams often start out, and there's this layer of clouds that begins to move in, and from beneath those two clouds, these two rocky pillars begin to rise up. And on each of those pillars, we see a silhouette. On one silhouette, we see sort of a taller, slender figure holding this, it looks like in the dream, sort of a metallic, shiny rock almost. It's about the size of maybe like half a foot to a foot. And on the other pillar, we see someone who's a bit bulkier. It looks like they're wearing some sort of armor or something. And with these two characters, we can see that there are all these strings that are holding them and binding them in place. And the taller, slender figure with the rock is struggling and trying to get out of them, while the other one is just being puppeted and moved along. And as we zoom out a little bit, we can see two figures, one climbing up each of the pillars towards these people. The one climbing towards the slender person with the rock is another person with another sort of weird shiny rock object in their hand as they begin to move one grip at a time closer to the top here. And then on the other pillar, we see a similar figure. Looks like they're in armor or something, climbing up towards the other armored figure. And that is all that happens in the dream before Dwyn wakes up. What does Dwyn look like? Tell us a bit about their home.
So Dwyn, he, him pronouns, Dwyn Warminth, but regularly goes by Speaker Dwyn. He is a portly fellow, a little bit, a little bit on the more round side. Definitely, he seems definitely tan, spends a lot of time outside, but doesn't seem out of shape, but more just like well fed, to put it that way. Rotund, as Matthew puts it, yes. But yeah, he's got sort of longer, shaggier, brownish black hair, kind of pulled back into a low ponytail. It's tied up with some twine. So kind of some 5 o'clock shadow that has formed over the morning. Simple robes, simple shoes, walking stick, kind of just works his way out of bed and stretches a little bit and kind of thinks over his dream some.
Yeah. Does Dwyn have any initial thoughts on what it could mean or what he's thinking?
He definitely is considering sort of the current power struggles that are going on just with the trial coming up, and
cool.
Thinks that maybe going out and talking to some people will help him sort of, maybe if he wanders for a bit, maybe he'll run into people in the dream. So he's just gonna grab some quick breakfast. His abode, he lives inside of the church, has one of the has modest what's sort of looking for here, like
a modest
accommodations. There we are. I haven't streamed in 2-3 weeks, friends. But yeah, so yeah, his modest accommodations, but is decently high up. Not everyone in the Church of Ancestors is a speaker, so yeah, he's kind of puts his pack together and is going to set off into Castile for the day.
Cool. So we've got some options on what we can do for our first scene. There's a Google Doc, I can link in it in our chat, Taryn, that we've got. So the first one we did is Dwyn's dream. Is there anyone that wants to start on one in particular? There's the option of Lord Wenzi going to chat with Dwyn about some of the stuff, and we could talk about what that relationship looks like. There's also some relevant NPCs that could be a part of that. That's my suggestion, but it's our game, so we can decide as a group.
Yeah, I think that could make sense for it kind of depends on what Dwyn's plan is setting out of here, but meeting up with members of whatever religious affiliations, and then Wenzi works his way in there.
Dwyn has sort of succumbed to his inability to find what he's looking for most of the time, and so generally sort of just sets out on this day and lets things unfold as they do. So
He'll
kind
wander
of-
towards where the plot demands, is what you're saying.
yeah, basically. There's in-character reasons for it, but
Cool. So we figured out that Robin and Wenzi were the person on trial and the parole officer. That was their connection. Is there any connection that we want to establish between Dwyn and the other two? Like, do they know each other? Are they just like acquaintances? Yeah.
I think based on beliefs between Wenzi and Dwyn, it seemed like they don't have a direct connection, but we're like moving towards each other's orbits.
Yep.
yeah, we've probably run into each other too at like functions, or at least like I've probably done some spiritual work on cases or trials, that sort of thing, death sentences, whatever. So
Okay, cool.
blessings of ancestors on battles and
Yeah. So the other question that I have is there's a few like important NPCs between the two of you that could be relevant. Do we want to bring any of them in potentially? And then also we should figure out like what's at stake here. What is the reason for doing this scene?
well, there is my forbidden romantic partner who is in the Church of the Kin. And obviously they have heavy ties with the Kin militia, so I don't know if that would be a way to like set up a meeting, or they would be there even not realizing that we would both be in the same space for this meeting. Just sort of like having to keep it professional while also having this like heated romance.
Yep. And then the other one is there's also the Kin militia leader that Wenzi has. Are they of interest to bring in? I'm basically wondering, like, is this a scene where everyone gets together to talk about the two groups for the trial?
It very well could be. And then my other thing is the belief kind of implies that there is like a Kin militia chaplain, which I don't know if that's the same person or if that's a person that works with the maybe.
Well, let's make it the same person. Let's just muddle the waters a little bit.
Let's make it just
So this could even be like an advisor meeting for like the trial. Like maybe the Kin militia leader is asking
trying
guidance
to
from both churches and getting an idea, and then the parole officer's there.
And I'm there because I have to meet with Robin on a undetermined but regular
basis. So
okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got the Kin militia leader who's also the chaplain. What's their name? And also let's get a name.
Well,
for...
I think we were saying that the chaplain was my lover.
Yes.
Oh.
They're the chaplain and also like a member of the Kin, the Gathering of Kinfolk. The Dino religion.
The Church of the Dinos.
Okay, sweet. Thanks for correcting that. I misunderstood that.
No worries.
So...
No, that'd be a lot if they were the chaplain leader and also Dwyn's. I think I also put them down as like a cousin level relationship because that'd maybe be too messy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the one person who is the forbidden romance
/ chaplain.
/chaplain. So we'll need a name for them, and then do we want to bring in the leader as like in this?
I think that helps pull all of the characters together.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
Like an advisoral. Nope. There's a word there, and you know what I mean, but I can't find it. So
I keep saying like advisorial, but like it keeps turning into adversarial, which
this is not quite, but yeah.
Yeah.
Same, but different.
It's an advice meeting. It's a hey, what am I doing?
Yeah.
It's a council.
Council. Yep, there we are.
Yes. So what's
synonyms?
Love the synonym.
Let's get some names for these two characters. And while you're thinking of names, I've got a thing for Maria as a thing to chat about. I am hesitant to play two NPCs in a scene. Do you want to put on your GM hat and play one of them?
Corey, I thought you would never ask.
Okay, can you see the NPC sheets in Roll20?
Yes.
Glued together, Corey's coming out.
But it's me!
Awesome. So we've got the two options of there's Terran's romance chaplain or there's the kin militia leader. I put in beliefs for both of them, sort of anticipating that this might come to be.
That this might happen.
Do you have a preference between either who you'd be interested in?
Oh no. You said you put beliefs in?
I think I did.
Oh.
I just put in one belief.
Okay. Oh,
It's sort of like their core.
I see.
core
I
thing.
see.
So you put in belief, not
Belief,
beliefs.
correct.
A
A
singular thing.
A
Okay.
singular thing to mess up with all the PCs.
Gosh, I need names. I can't think of names. Hate names.
Ooh. 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 All right. I'm gonna pick twins.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oof. Okay.
Okay. It's a little bit similar to Tana, but rather than you and Castile, it's yep. Okay. You got it.
I am here. I am present.
Okay. So there's that one, and I think the gist of that character is there's the forbidden romance that is essentially between the two of them, and then there is the fact that they're also the chaplain, the sort of contact in the military for the Church of the Kinfolk. Oh, well, what's the names that we want to go with for these two groups? We mentioned it last time, but we were going to wait for you to come back, Taryn, because they're sort of...
I'm honestly really good with the. So like you're thinking of like the specific like follower name, like Baptist, kind of that kind of thing.
Oh, no, I'm asking, like, are they called the Church of the Ancestors, the Gathering of the Ancestors? What's the...
I was thinking Church of the Ancestors, honestly.
Okay, cool.
I've been good with that since the beginning because I like the
Yep.
sort of the importance of that. But
Okay. And then, Zach, which one did you want to do for the Kinfolk?
I think we talked about. I liked Gathering of Kinfolk actually
Okay.
for their church.
And just to make sure that I'm in the right headspace, Twins' forbidden relationship is with the chaplain of the Gathering of the Kinsfolk,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, who's like the chaplain for the like kin militia. Like, or it works with them in some way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, I wish I had an easy name thing.
I'm just
I
like
do.
cycling through them.
Did you have a particular general idea of what this romantic partner of yours is like?
I had not thought that far. I have a feeling that they are. Let me think through some things, but I think they're male.
Okay.
That's my feeling on that. I'm just trying to find name generator.
Yeah, that's fine. We can also, if we want, pause on the names and come up
Oh,
with them.
Ewin, or hang on.
Win and Ewin.
Wen and Ewan.
Maybe not quite.
Oh, there's Kai, Kai. Or Edgar.
I like Ash.
Oh, that's
okay.
nice.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to rename them on Roll20.
Hello, everyone. I am now Ash. Ash will sound like this forever.
No.
Cool.
You have given
Weird
me
that
your
Forbidden
heart.
Romance ended really quickly. It's been pen pals mostly, and then I got in the room with them.
Yeah. We've really just been communicating over text recently.
It's just via the ancestors, actually.
Okay.
Well, I sent ancestors, they sent a dinosaur. It's very complicated.
And what's a good name for Wenzi's relationship?
I think I've been cycling through I think she's like an older cousin. I'm thinking like Octavia. Something like that sounds fancy.
Mhm.
Okay.
I like it.
And what's their pronouns?
She, her.
Okay, got it. Cool. Okay.
She's older and better than me. Mad.
That actually works really good because the touchstone I had written down for that character is like same.
That's
same
so
hat.
good.
Okay, and so the last question to figure out is what's at stake between Dwyn and Wenzi here? Like, what is the sort of common ground that they're like trying to gain on between this, or what's the big question?
I don't know about the big question. I mean, there's obviously, we kind of talked about between Dwyn and his chaplain lover that there's a weirdness there of being in a professional setting.
Yeah. And then we both, I think, because we both have these ways that we're kind of looking at the relationship and trying to influence the other, both with our beliefs and with just the political situation going on. Between Dwyn and Wenzi, I mean, Dwyn right now is trying to gain a foothold. So with the militia leader, because his militia leader is a noble, and he's trying to push into the nobility to sort of bring back the pull of the church of the ancestors. So
Yeah.
I think just sort of trying to offer sort of guidance and being a sort of a wise counsel in this matter is really their kind of goal. So maybe trying to push for more influence. And I think that's kind of where me and Wenzi meet, is we're both trying to be
Yeah, it
the
sounds like
guy.
we almost have like the same goal. It's like we want to be A, useful, but B, useful enough that we can jockey for position
Yeah.
in a way. Just like
Yeah.
coming at it from the opposite angles, and this is the
Mhm.
meeting. It's like, oh, so you're trying to use this to gain power. I was
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I am just updating the screen. I think that's good to go. So the four of them gather, perhaps, since the Kin militia leader is probably the highest rank, it's probably with the Kin militia in like a meeting room of sorts. Who wants to say the opening line? Or who should say the opening line, really?
I would assume it starts with the Kin militia leader, right?
Yeah, I was going to say
She's
the
the one
person,
calling.
Octavia, who brought us here together. So,
Okay. So the group gathers. Last person sits down.
Dwyn's late.
Yep. Got a little
Ash
lost.
definitely is like gonna look up and then back. Kind of the
Mhm.
rest of the group.
Yeah, not to interject and like, but like, do you two realize that that you're both in this meeting ahead of time?
Probably not.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
This seems like a. Sorry, but this seems like a sort of last minute thing. It doesn't seem like it was like a
Yeah.
well organized meeting.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Octavia begins and she opens the meeting and starts to say, "How is everyone today?"
I am well, Octavia, and yourself? Well as always.
I'm good. Well, Actually, I'm not. But how are you, Duin and Ash?
Twin just kind of lets a very sort of soft smile settle on his face, as well as the ancestors allow.
Ash?
It seems that today is full of strange surprises and mild blessings. So it is in fact a good day.
Yes. Some strange surprises indeed. You know, I really dislike people who try to go beyond what they should. And I just want to open that meeting with that. Anyways, let's jump into the trial, shall we?
Ash is immediately uncomfortable because he thinks that they have been found out, and is just immediately like,
Who was this
I know,
about?
we all think we're on blast.
Those are the best meetings when you can one statement hit everybody.
I believe that it's important that we discuss who is going to be at the trial. Lord Wenzi, I believe you'll be there as the parole officer, correct?
Yes, I assumed I would still operate in that capacity and escort Robin to the trial and make sure she makes it there.
Excellent. And I was hoping that we could send someone to represent the gathering of the kinfolk. Ash, if you would be willing to take up that responsibility.
of course.
Excellent. And then, Duane, we haven't interacted all that much with the Church of the Ancestors, but what do you think, who should represent the Church of the Ancestors at this trial?
As a speaker and close conduit of the church and our ancestors, I would be glad to represent both our faith and the will of those that came before at the trial.
I can, of course, vouch for his character.
Oh,
It's
all right.
quite kind of you, Ash.
We have a little bit that we need to figure out. I would like to hear from the Church of the Ancestors what their approach is going to be on this, and I'll tune in as I need to, but I'm not going to be able to attend the trial directly. So I was hoping that Lord Wenzi, you could speak on our behalf in that regard for this conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. And Octavia will just sort of like lean back and let the two of you begin to, or the three of you rather, discuss, and then pop in as she needs.
Well, I know this is not necessarily our current domain, but the church would be pleased to offer our services to consult with the spirits and see how guilty Robin is of this crime, to see if there is any sort of leaning or information being passed on.
Yes, that does seem fair. In my time with Robin, it's been, well, let's just say that she's been somewhat tight-lipped on the events leading up to her trial. I assumed by now that she would have let on maybe towards her guilt, yes or no, either way, really. But it's been a little difficult to ascertain, so I would appreciate some, a higher power intervening, if at all possible.
Our blessed ancestors are, of course, quite happy to guide us that still walk in mortal coils.
Hmm. Yes, well, that is what they are there for, yes?
That and many other things.
Octavia's gonna chime in and say, I do think that is wise that we consult amongst as much as we can. But I also think it's important that we really remember the structures that we have in place right now and not get too close to each other. Respectfully.
Of course, it's the way of the church to respect the ways that have come before, but I believe that they would not guide us if we were not to forge our own paths.
Ash just kind of like nods and just like tries to hold back a smile.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure out which like beliefs out of your two characters to sort of bring into this just for the next step. Which ones do you two want to go with? Because I think there's a couple options.
Personally, currently, I'm pushing the my third belief, the pulling the nobility back into the church, just because I'm in an opportunity where I'm speaking with somebody with pretty high power, and so
Okay.
if I were to pull that with the Kin militia, that would start maybe a domino effect. So that's what I'm going for right now.
Okay, cool. Then Octavia, in that case, will say, what do you have to offer if we begin to work on understanding it from your perspective? We're quite competent over here.
I do not doubt that, Octavia. That is not my wish to insult your prowess and devotion to Castile. I simply extend the church's unique perspective and guidance that our ancestors, both before and coming, offer.
I can definitely appreciate that you won't offer that guidance, but don't you think that would be a little bit strange in a trial where there was an arcane storm potentially brought about by the ancestors? Potentially.
That is something that, if that is the case, then that is what should come to light. But the ancestors are devoted to our success, as am I. And of course, I would offer myself on retainer in any matters moving forward. You would offer, or would require even. Sorry, I get lost in my words too sometimes.
Octavia will say, a retainer. Now we're beginning to speak about actual things that we can agree upon. In what capacity? Within the capacity of offering us favors, help, assistance? What do you mean?
The church, and more directly myself, wish to see Castile move into an age that is unhindered by our current turmoil. I wish to see it strong and guided both by those that respect the kin and those that respect what came before. But I am not the only person in this conversation. I do not wish to monopolize your time. I can pick your ear later.
Okay, so I think there's a role here because I think I'm split on if Octavia is going to be like, sure, let's try this out. Let's see what goes. And between the other side of, no, I'm pretty happy with how things are now. Let's not. So maybe we can figure out a role for that.
What am I good at?
I forgot to open up the skill sheet. So it's probably a social skill.
Great. That's definitely what I'm good at.
My hunch is persuasion.
I don't have that.
Do you want to learn some skills?
I was gonna say, don't worry about it. Last time, I think I learned about like 4 skills.
Yeah,
last time.
learn a skill. Let's do it.
Okay. Do we think this is persuasion?
I would think so. Yeah, definitely. This is like textbook.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you can... So this is the first time doing this for Dwin. On your sheet, under stats and skills, there is a section for being learned. Do you want me to add it in for you?
Sure,
Okay.
that would be great because I'm still.
Yep. We can do that. So I added in a skill called Persuasion near the bottom there, and it is based off of will, so that's good to go. So how it works to learn a new skill is we're going to set the obstacle, and it's going to essentially be doubled, because when you learn stuff, it's twice as difficult. But you do get to roll your will instead of the skill. And once you do this 5 times, you'll actually add the skill to your skills that you know. But that's for the future. For this one, we can just go ahead and try rolling the skill. Did you want to do that, or do you want us to do that, or what's your preference on that?
I have dice here. I don't know if are we doing a roll 20 or just like physical dice or.
I've been doing roll 20.
Okay,
Uh,
that's fine by me.
Sure.
I just hit the dice button.
yep.
No modifiers.
Yeah, ask you like 4 questions.
Yeah, there's a few things.
No Artha. No base obstacle. What's the base obstacle actually? Is it 1?
I don't think it is. I'm gonna check. I think for persuasion, it's the other person's will.
Okay.
That sounds right, because I had to do that one last time around.
Yes.
How willful is Octavia?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think you were trying to persuade Robin last time.
Yeah,
Yep.
that sounds right.
How important is Octavia? Was she an important person, or? I'm just gonna take a peek on Wenzy's character sheet.
I don't.
She was minor.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say that she is not that powerful, but she's average, and gave her a will of 3.
Okay. So base of 3.
Yeah,
Additional complications?
I don't think so.
Okay. So submit.
Bum, bum, bum. Okay,
Wow.
so
You did pretty good actually, but obstacle 6.
you do have 2 6s. If you want, you could try and re-roll and spend your fate. So you've got 2 fate right now.
Okay.
And I'll add some context for the viewers and ourselves just on what exactly this means. So it was ob 3 because it's a beginner's luck. It doubles to 6, which is why it says 6 there. It's a routine test. So on the character sheet for Dwin, you can mark off 1 bubble beside persuasion. And if you're interested, you can spend fate to try and re-roll more 6s and get up to 6. That'd be kind of tough because you'd need to roll 2 successes and then a 6 on top of that.
Okay. Yeah. What's my fate pool look like?
You've got 2 fate and 2 persona.
Gotcha. GM recommendation here. Thoughts?
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's not a life or death situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you know of.
So
Ash pulls out a gun.
Hey. Only one.
Octavia says, a retainer sounds honestly like a bad idea. I don't think that this trial really needs to get any more muddled than it needs to be. And I really think that as part of the militia and the gathering of the kinfolk, we should keep our lines. And she's going to look at Wenzi and Ash very pointedly. Yeah.
Is it
3-1. I understand my odds here.
Is it not unwise, though, to limit opinions?
I think we should
They
limit.
have
Go ahead.
they have a different viewpoint. This is for sure, but in situations such as this, where there is plenty that is unknown, would it not be more advantageous to have as many differing thoughts as possible to get some semblance of a solid understanding?
And we do not hold insignificant sway with the Castile populace. It's something I would be loath to use, but we are the predominant faith here in Castile.
We're the predominant sword here in Castile.
And we should work together. Not muddle, as you said.
Lord Wenzi, what say you in this?
Well, of course, in the end, it is your decision to make, but I do believe that with how little we know about this arcane storm, that it wouldn't hurt to both understand what the ancestors can provide to us by way of their speaker Dwyn, but also what we know about the natural world through the kin and their teachings that Ash brings. I don't know that it would hurt to have, as we've discussed, a wide range of opinions and understandings of what happened.
Well, perhaps then you could go with them and figure some of this out.
Yes, of course, if that's what you wish.
And that would help me not get so confused on the way.
Octavia doesn't have anything else to add at this point.
Confound you. Ah.
Yes.
So,
He ordered so easily. I should be leading.
Ah.
Lord Wenzi,
Yes.
you've had, as you said, dealings with this defendant. Any sort of thoughts on, I know you elaborated briefly, but anything that feel relevant before we get there? Or this is also a conversation we could have on the path, and
Yes.
maybe
Yes.
Ash might join us. I
Mhm.
I don't want to step on any toes. And he's turning to Octavia at that point and sort of like giving a little head bow. And
I just need to think for one quick second if Octavia wants to talk to Wenzi specifically. She does. Okay, Octavia's gonna step out and say, Lord Wenzi, It's fantastic if you just go join with them, go on and do whatever, adventures that you need to do for the trial. Great, fantastic. Just stop by. I'll just be over getting some stuff from the barracks.
Why don't actually you two have a conversation? I'm sure me and Ash here can entertain ourselves for a moment outside. And I'll kind of like grab Ash by the arm and start walking out.
Okay, there's a roll here.
Is it okay, hang on. There was one that we were trying to figure out for
Oh, there's some sort of like deception adjacent one, right? That's like,
Is it inconspicuous?
Also not trained in that because I don't have social skills.
look, that's what we're
there
here.
is an inconspicuous that Robin definitely tried to use last time.
Yeah, is it under your skills learned or learning?
It is being learned.
Being learned.
Being learned.
Yeah, quite simply, inconspicuous is the ability to go unnoticed in a crowd. So like,
Maybe?
I feel like we didn't, because this is kind of a is it more of a trying to how are you envisioning this, Corey?
I'm just envisioning to see if Octavia gets like a
This might
hunch.
actually be a role for Octavia to perceive it.
That's
yeah,
true.
it might be observation on her end, possibly.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look at observation.
Observation.
Turn the tables back on you.
You spot the hidden, test the skill versus against inconspicuous, stealthy, sleight of hand, or trapper.
Yeah, is stealthy going to be too specific for what's going on here? Because like it's a stealth, but not in a like sneaky cat burglar way, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What
It's more
if,
of like a social stealth.
what if this is a steal test to like maintain your composure?
Hey, I like that actually.
I'm definitely trained in that. Not.
That's a ability, right?
Yeah,
Oh, is it? Oh, sweet.
yeah, you've got that.
Oh, steal. My brain
Steal.
went to STEAL. No, steal's great. I have great steal, so this is actually my best attribute.
Sure, let's give that one a shot. So steal is always versus your hesitation. The nice thing about steal is that it's automatically open-ended though, so all the sixes are going to explode.
Zero modifiers, zero Aratha, base obstacle, hesitation.
Yeah, so it'll be 5.
Ooh, that's close. What happened to my roll thing? Sorry, one thing. My roll thing disappeared. There it is. Base obstacle 5. Submit. Hey!
Oh, you did it.
Hey, look at all the
Yay!
sixes. Wow, that's a lot of sixes.
There's a lot of
Really?
sixes.
Wow.
I was really hoping that this would get to use the swoon option from the steal.
Hey.
The swoon?
Yeah.
So if you don't succeed, there's different
Oh.
things that
There's like a bunch of different hesitations you can do. Like,
yeah.
Gotcha.
one is you run out screaming.
That's what I did.
No, but I succeeded, so
Yeah,
Did.
you do nothing. Steal had to win.
Did the darn thing.
I did it.
You share a steely gaze.
Cool. So, the two of you are good to go. Octavia doesn't notice anything, unless you have any last words too.
Nope, I'm going to bow and exit quickly.
Cool.
I do the same, being partially dragged away.
Yeah.
And then it's just Octavia and Lord Wenzi. And Octavia,
Spleen slit.
Octavia's gonna sit into her desk and sit back and just sort of stare for a moment.
I'm just gonna hold the stare for a bit. Just like let that sit for a little while.
How tall is Lord Wenzi?
I don't know if I ever wrote that down. I don't know if that's a thing that I would actually have as a.
Yeah, I'm just asking more as like a what do you want?
I imagined him as like maybe a little on the tall side, but not like especially tall, like slightly above average.
Okay, in that case, Octavia is really tall.
Oh yeah, she's taller than me. I know that much.
Okay,
I think it'd be hilarious if Wenzi had a Napoleon complex, but I don't think that that's what this is.
well, Octavia does.
He maybe has a complex about it, but like
Yeah.
He's not actually that short.
So Octavia sits there, and eventually she speaks up, and it says, I don't like people that are short and distrustful.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So which of those two did you find distrustful then? Neither of them were especially short with you.
Nope, they weren't.
Oh, well. As there was only 3 of us in the room, I'm starting to think that you maybe have a problem with myself then.
Just one.
Hmm.
Why
and,
stop there?
Hmm?
Why stop at just one?
Yeah. How could you possibly have a problem with me? Well.
You're a very ambitious one, aren't you? I don't like that.
Oh. Many would see that as a strength, especially in our line of work, to be ambitious and a bit of a go-getter.
Ambition breeds entropy.
Ambition can also breed order and lead to strong leadership, or I guess, as you say, entropy and chaos, or a misunderstanding of what needs to be done. But as I've always seen it, without ambition, what point is there?
You mentioned misunderstandings, and let me make this very clear, so there are no misunderstandings between the two of us. It is your job to make sure that during this trial, we get what we need for the Kin Militia. And potentially, we can consider how that looks for you within the organization.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, of course. I serve the Kin Militia, and I serve
And
at your
myself.
order. And yourself, of course. You are the appointed leader, and I am, of
Rightfully
course,
appointed.
obligated. Yes. As you say.
I think we should roll for something here.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out
This feels opposed in some way.
it's oppositional for sure.
Yeah.
There is tension.
Really?
Why do you hate me?
Palpitable.
I'm just waiting for my scene with Ash. No, this scene is amazing. But,
Other tension.
yeah.
Too many tensions. Too many. Now, if we're gonna get real oppositional, I'm pretty good at sword or brawling.
Puncher.
Just punch.
I do have etiquette. I don't know if that applies in this situation, but I'm trying to play it cool a little bit.
How about I'll give you a moment to look up things and check out some options, then we can hop back and see what Ash and
that would be blessed.
Dwayne are
Thank you.
doing for a bit of a moment.
Etiquette would be really interesting because it's
Blessed is
proper
our
courtly
job.
behavior. Just as an aside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to keep going with Ash?
Yes. Yeah, I do want to scene.
Sorry, I meant
so
Maria,
they've kind of-
did you want to?
Oh no, that's fine. I was just commenting that what Wednesday was saying about being eloquent and courtly would.
I think Corey meant do you want to keep role playing Ash?
Oh, do I want to? Oh, yes,
Okay, cool.
yes, I can.
Sorry,
Hello, I am
I should
present.
have clarified.
I'll help interpret.
Thank you, thank you,
You're welcome.
thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
the two of you head on out, and I'll let it go.
So, Dwayne, who's kind of in the lead of this situation, is going to pull Ash out and then off into an alley. Not really sure where. Not really looking where he's going. Typical for Dwayne. Just kind of is like, what? That was. stressful.
Yes? It
No,
was.
I was hoping you would elaborate. You didn't quite say much in there, Ash.
I mean, you seemed to have a lot of it taken. I mean, you seemed to make good arguments. I don't know why she didn't see.
Unfortunately, sometimes roadblocks appear. But that is neither here nor there. This is here. Have you considered any more? The ancestors are benevolent and kind. I just want you with me.
I know. I
need you with me, Ash.
I know. And this is more important than anything. I would leave everything to just have this, but
then we can do so much if we just... You saw in there, Octavia is not destined to be in control. She is stubborn and painfully cold. This isn't what Castile needs. This is what the ancestors call for. Shoot, this isn't what I'm sure the kin desire. But Castile is ruled by what came and what is to come. And the ancestors control that, Ash.
I think we should do a roll for this. Another persuasion, possibly?
Yeah.
I have a rebuttal for both sides.
The other option is it could potentially be rhetoric because you're trying to communicate an idea, but I'll let you decide, Taryn.
I don't know if I have either of them, so...
Yeah, then it just depends on which one you want to keep working on learning.
Definitely then persuasion if I'm going to keep...
Okay.
Because all of my skills are based on... I have doctrine, but I don't think that really fits.
Yeah. Once you get skills into your skill box, you can start forking things into each other, and I think that's when those will start coming into play. Okay. How important was Ash? Like, was she a minor, important, or major?
I think she was minor, just because that was the stuff that I had for it.
Yeah.
Also, I think
minor.
Ash was a he.
Yes, that is true.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to give Ash a will of 3 again.
Okay.
So...
This'll go great, I'm sure. I don't even think I can.
If you want, you could spend Persona to get extra dice. It depends how much you care about this roll. You can ask for advantages, like if there's some situational thing that you think applies. That's a possibility.
I mean... This is definitely tied to one of his core beliefs. I don't know how that necessarily works in this regard, but...
That'll give you rewards at the end of the session.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I don't think there's any sort of, like, advantage to this, but I definitely am probably going to spend Persona because this is super important to my character, so...
Okay, sure. You've got 2, so you can spend up to 2.
I'm going to spend 2.
Okay.
And that's in modifiers?
That's in Artha.
Okay, so modifiers 0, Artha 2.
Yeah.
Base is 3.
Yeah.
Additional complication 0.
Correct. Well,
3 again. Those are some bad rolls.
Okay.
if you keep attempting to persuade, eventually
Yes.
you'll actually get it as a real skill, not be beginner's luck anymore. For the people at home, it was 3 successes against 6 obstacle.
I've got it up on our screen.
Do you have it? What?
Yeah, because Corey is just the best.
Yeah,
Crushing
Corey's
it.
the best.
I hadn't flipped back over there in a while. I have too many tabs open. I'm sorry.
There are a lot of tabs.
Hashtag too many tabs.
There's a lot of tabs, I agree. Okay, I need to figure out where that persona goes, because it does go somewhere, but I'll figure that out later. Okay, and then, yeah, Ash you can respond accordingly.
The ancestors are not the only ones who have sway over how things are and have been. The kin have been here longer than any of us. They know that this land has been here longer than any of us. It will prevail when we all join the land of the ancestors. Don't you think that it also has a say?
Obviously. Well dictioned. I have a hard time combating that, yes, but the ancestors are Castile. They, just because the land was here, the kin was here, they're not us. They're a no, I'm just honestly happy to see you. And he's gonna look left and right and then steal a kiss.
Oh,
Ash consents and reciprocates.
Yeah.
I think that's
This is-
where... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say. I
Post
think
out of
this
the
is...
room. I see it.
Well, I pulled us over and ducked us out into an alley for that specific reason, but I think we should
Mm-hmm.
go wait for our guide.
Cool.
Fade.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think what we're going to do for Octavia and Wenzi is, do you want to go with the intimidation roll, or what's...
I kind of like it. I mean, like, that seems to be the thing, is that she is attempting to intimidate me rather than me doing anything.
Yep,
Besides.
it is.
So that reads as, I think that's against my will.
Yep,
And then if it succeeds, I have to steal test against.
yep. So I'm going to give her that as a skill. It's not great, but we'll see how it goes. And your will was 5?
5.
Okay, yeah, she can't succeed.
That's what I like to hear. Impossible to intimidate.
Okay.
Aha.
Cool. That's fine. She's a minor character, so I expect some failed rolls out of them.
Well,
yeah.
yeah, if I'm going to topple her regime, she has to fail her rolls.
Okay. She says that, and you're just sort of like, how do you react? You can react in any way that you want, and she
So that was her saying that she had beef with me, basically? Or-
many
trying to remember
problems,
exactly what
and she's
Oh.
like, here it is clear, so there's no misunderstandings.
Mhm.
We need to use this trial for our advantage.
Yes, well, no misunderstandings there that I am representing on behalf of the Kin Militia and on your leadership. And at least we do have one thing in common, that we do seem to have a bit of an issue here, you and I. So I don't know that we'll get that worked out right this second, but one day.
Do you want to get anything out of, like, you have an opportunity really to get something out of it?
Yeah, I'm not exactly a reverse like trying to flip the intimidation back on her, but like sort of. It's not really intimidation. I'm just like, it kind of is though. I'm telling her to watch the throat, basically.
Commit.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of intimidation, a little bit. Not like physical violence, but just like, I'm gonna get you out of here.
Okay. Yeah, we can roll for that. And
Yeah, what do we think her will is? Do we say it was 3?
Yeah, her will's 3.
We already said that? Okay. I don't believe I have intimidation. I do have sword, though. What if I pulled out the sword? Would that help?
I mean, if you want to attack
I don't want
her-
to take it that far. It's only episode 2. We'll work up to the sword.
The sword will come out when the gun comes out.
Yeah.
You'll bring a sword
the
to a
spirits.
gunfight.
I don't bring spirits.
And the spirits.
Look, unless you're trained in gun, then I don't think it's going to be a real contest.
Gun is based in agility, so
So this is intimidation,
I did figure that
and
out.
it is.
yes.
What do we have it up here? Will. Gotcha.
Yep.
So modifiers is no. Artha for now is no.
Ooh, we should figure out the success and failure of this.
Yeah, okay, so I'm attempting to intimidate her. My goal is to I'm supposed to establish intent, correct?
Yep.
Like, yeah, I want to make her uneasy about her leadership
Okay.
and like her position.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what the failure condition is, and the success condition is a little vague, but
So the failure condition, I think, will be is that she perceives yourself as not like a threat. She's like, this Lord Wenzi.
I don't know. Sounds like a success condition as well.
I've got some consequences down the line for
Yeah,
that.
I'm assuming she's gonna bring the hammer down on me more in scenes to come. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave off Artha because I don't have a whole lot of that, and
Okay.
I've got a pretty good odds on this one. And then Ob 3
Yep.
blessed. No additional complications, I'm assuming.
I don't think so.
Okay, I went through the questionnaire. Yikers. I forgot it was doubled, so I didn't have a real good shot anyway.
Okay. I'm gonna make a note on Octavia's character sheet about this. Octavia will remember this.
Everyone disliked that.
I wanted to make her run screaming out of the room, though.
Okay.
Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Do you have anything else to say to Octavia?
No, I think I just leave it on the. Well, yeah. So I like attempting to intimidate her said that we would resolve our differences one day or another, and then I go to leave and it's like, I think I should get back to Dwyn and Ash. You of course wouldn't want to busy yourself with such nitty gritty details, but I should get back to my charge.
Certainly. End scene
It's
there.
like-
I love that we all took very subtle pot shots at Octavia.
Look, it's not on accident that I'm turning everyone against her. It's fine. Well, I'll get there one day.
Yep. No,
First
I
Oct-
have a conversation coming on the walk there that I would like to talk to you about. So
Okay. So,
I have a scene.
Yep, go ahead. What's your idea?
I was just gonna have a scene with Lord Wenzi and Ash as we were walking
Mhm.
to.
Yeah, we're I guess we can establish that in character, like what we're up to here.
Yeah.
And what's at stake and what beliefs are we sort of like pushing for this one?
I mean, my belief would be the one where I'm trying to win over Ash,
Okay.
so that
Mine is the one where I want to sway the nobility back into the Church of the Ancestors. So
and I guess from the sounds of it, it wouldn't hurt to try and work on the I must claim my rightful place as kin militia leader because maybe I have
oh,
my first
Dwayne has some
follower.
comments that he
now's
wants to make.
Now's a good time to start.
Yeah.
Flint.
So-
I'm gonna accept Dwyn.
Okay. And then the other question I have is, when does Dwyn want to consult with the ancestors?
When?
Yeah, like,
I think he wants to get some information from Robin first, and then sort
Okay.
of like question them, and then sort of see where things are, and then
okay.
then sort of like almost in like a private sort of like consultation thing.
Yeah. Sounds good.
See how things are going. Yeah.
Okay. Before we jump into that, do we want to see, like, what is Robin up to and what's...
Yeah.
Well, you see,
My other character
my other
is a
self.
PC.
Let me show you my darkest self.
Oh, that was the previous game. Sorry. This is Burning Wheel.
I'm waiting. But anyway, what is Robin doing? Is this the same day as her like mental breakdown?
I don't think so.
I don't think. Okay.
I think there's some time that's happened. I think it's like the Majora's Mask clock showed up saying 24 hours until
The trial.
the
Gotcha,
trial.
gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Jeez. I think she's trying to figure out this gun situation. I think she's been trying to do it surreptitiously since the conversation with Tenna and like confronting her about where the hell did you get this thing and everything went to shit when you gave me this thing.
Yep.
And then I was crying and screaming.
And how do you want to go about figuring that out?
Oof.
Because there's the option of doing it with Dwin potentially, which is coming up.
I feel we talked about, I don't know if we talked about it on stream or if we talked about it in chat during the recap stream last week. The mountain has a strain of strange minerals that have a magical component to them.
Yep.
Magic dust.
Magic dust. Because I was part of the tower
Yep.
coalition for a small period of time, I would have probably known about that.
Yep.
I want to, if it is within my jurisdiction to walked amongst that area of the realm, I want to go there and try to see if I can find some magic dust to see if it has any sort of strange reaction with this gun weapon. Or if there's any correlation, or if I can use it to like power or enhance or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep. Okay, so my thought is, this is just an idea or suggestion. Rather than going all the way to the volcano, maybe someone in Castile already has it potentially. Just because I'm imagining the volcano is a bit further away.
Yeah,
as far as like
yeah,
a trek. If that sounds good with you.
yeah. Oh yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Here's a suggestion.
Yep.
I wonder if they would have had some stored at the tower
Yes.
as like a research for later.
Yep. Yes.
Oh no. Here's another suggestion that would suck for me.
Oh no.
Would I have to talk to Tenna again to get access to it?
Have that awkward conversation.
I say yes.
Hey.
Hey, about that magic dust.
Hey.
You got that powder for me?
Okay. I was trying to figure
No, I
out
need
how
that magic.
I'm trying to figure out how to line this up. Let's do Dwin, Wenzi, Ash, and then Dwin can maybe go with Robin.
Okay.
Like I imagine, like I don't imagine there's that much time, so I imagine if Dwin wants to talk to Robin, like there's gonna have to be some overlap.
It's a walk and talk situation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Quick
Okay.
walk and talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right.
I'm trying to like overlap it as much as
No,
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Possible.
Yep.
You're on time constraints.
yeah.
I can't do my full like maniacal, so I have to do it like to the side. Fingers only go so far.
Corey emote in chat.
Hands are glued together.
But yeah, so
Okay, let's hop back then to Dwyn, Wenzi, and Ash, and you two can hash out that situation.
All three of us.
Yep.
But
Just
I'll just sort of chill and let y'all,
Sean
as I
Scheme.
like to do.
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah.
Take notes. Yeah, it's fine.
I think they're about probably at least amongst Dwyn's estimate, which is awful because he is terrible at directions.
They're miles
About the
away.
halfway mark. About the halfway mark. Is going to kind of like make sure they're in sort of not like a super busy area and just sort of walk up next to
Wait,
Lord
Oh,
Wenzi.
where are we headed to? Like, or
You're taking me to find Robin because I'm
Okay,
awful at
gotcha.
directions and I need to see her before the day's
okay, I
up.
couldn't remember where
So-
what our plan was first. Was where we were headed.
Yeah. So kind of just like straight up next to Lord Wenzi. So that was difficult.
Yes. Octavia can be. Yes. Well, difficult's the way to put it, I suppose.
Stubborn and unmoving.
Mm-hmm.
The words I would
Bit
use.
obstinate.
Dedicated.
Okay. Yes.
Frustrating.
Mhm.
I sensed in your conversation, or our conversation really, that you have a more forward thinking mindset.
Yes, you could say that. Octavia has been, since he took over for Braun, she's done fine, I suppose, but has been mostly maintaining the status quo. You see, and as you can tell, especially with the impending trial, the status quo hasn't exactly been working out.
As we have all come to learn here in Castile, I do not wish to let my offer of retainer go unutilized. Octavia is not the only member of the Kin Militia, and if you were to require the ancestral knowledge and sway that would come with a useful line with the Church of the Ancestors, that could be arranged, and I personally would see to it that we could establish such a thing.
Hold. Oh, wait a moment, Dwyn. You're suggesting shifting from one power skew to a different one.
In what manner?
Well, instead of those like Octavia, calling the shots in a way or another, instead, are you not suggesting the Church of the Ancestors do the same?
I simply am offering the services of myself and the church to guide forward Castile, and by it, the Kin Militia. I do not wish to step on any toes, and I do not wish to outstep my bounds within the church and our place. I simply wish to see Castile move forward.
So,
I was going to say, so I'm thinking about the role before with Ash.
mhm.
And what the consequences are here, if anything.
Mhm.
And Terrence, since it's
Pertaining to Ash's character, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
yeah. I would think that Ash is probably sort of put off by by Dwin's insistence. So, especially by the failed roll. So,
Do you think this is a point where Ash leaves the scene just out of
frustration.
I think so. I think kind of utilize that. They will say it's apparent that you have a certain stubbornness as well, and I will let the two of you discuss this amongst yourselves. I have matters to attend to. And then they will walk away.
I'll just kind of Dwin just sort of lowers his head and lets out a frustrated sigh. Ash will come at least to some understanding. I'm certain of it. I can't speak more on the matter, but
Yeah, I'm sure he'll come back around.
I do not want to stress. I do want to stress that I am not trying to push out the gathering of kinfolk. I am simply trying to reestablish a connection between my church and the more forceful arm of Castile.
Yes, of course. And along those lines, this offer of retainer, what exactly do you think you'd be able to provide to us?
Guidance. The Castile is founded and rooted in its trust and reliance on the ancestors. There isn't much that happens without our consultation and their guidance.
Well, as we are approaching Robin's cottage, I suppose a demonstration is maybe in order of what you believe you can provide with their wisdom in relation to this matter.
We shall certainly see. I obviously am currently on a more of an information gathering.
Yeah, of course.
I will definitely. I hope that the ancestors will our mutual cooperation.
I'm sure you'll make that happen for us.
Is Dwin like on the fence about this?
About which part?
About using the ancestors to cooperate?
No.
Okay.
Dwin is very much like for using them. They are as much a tool for him as he is a tool for them.
Okay. Just checking.
Spirit, so.
As long as he finds me that gun with these ancestors, that's all I need.
Okay. Is there anything else that the two of you chat about?
No, I think we got through our revenge session about Octavia and established where we're at with this thing before we get to Robin's.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's imagine I have a suggestion that Robin is at the Ivory Tower and that Lord Wensley knows that.
Okay, sure.
Just so that we can set the scene there, going towards the dust and
I have a
doing
note on my table that says, if Wensley arrives, there's an apple for Delilah. Also, here's where I'm going.
Okay, we can have the note appear.
Yeah, it's just like tacked up onto the door.
Yes.
And we're just like, oh, well. I wouldn't expect you to know this, but this way to the tower.
Okay, cool. And so you two want to talk to Robin about, like, what are you trying to get again?
We're trying to shake her down for information. Or Dwayne
Basically.
more politely, but like Dwyn's trying to get to the bottom of this stuff, right?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Trying to force the ancestors' importance into this trial, basically, is the way I would look at it.
Okay.
Create them as Exhibit A for Ancestor.
Yes.
Awesome. Do we want to do a 5-minute break between and hop over now? And
That
then
would
we
be
can-
great, taking a little break right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Sweet. Okay. I will get our transition screen set up if I can find it. There it is. Okay, and we will hop over there. See you. And we're back. Hello, everyone. Thanks for waiting while we were on break. We're all good to go and refreshed. I think we can hop right into the scene where Dwyn, Lord Wenzi, and Robin get together. And are you in the midst of literally like walking through the ivory tower? Is that where this is?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Your group, let's say the two groups walk around a corner and it's like, oh, how does that sound?
I love it.
Okay.
Midwestern Ope.
Oh, hey.
Sorry.
Let me just squeeze right by you right there.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Let me just squeeze.
Anyway,
Goodness.
hang on now from that. Weird.
It was a moment we all had it, and we were together, and it was great.
Was on first.
You didn't know this, but Castile is set in Minnesota, actually.
Land of my home. Anyway.
Future Minnesota or past.
Both.
Or is it the past?
Which is it? Anyway, but yeah, so that's what Matthew says. Oh, let's just sneak right back and remember the ancestors.
Okay. I don't have an NPC, so I'll let y'all go for it.
Oh. I take it you found my ladder.
Yes, we were going to stop by and talk to you, but it said you were here instead. But we got the apple, thank you very much.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Are you acquainted with Speaker Dwyn? I was actually bringing him by was the purpose of our stop at your place.
Lord Wenzi has been so kind to make the introduction. Yes, I am Speaker Dwyn of the Church of the Ancestors, and let's say I'm here on behalf of Castile.
Wonderful. Glad Castile is so interested in me.
Yes, unfortunately for you, it does seem that Castile is very interested in you these days.
Well, I think my coming here can wait. There's a lovely spot by the river if you would like to talk somewhere without people around, or we can go back to my home, or we can just talk here in this awkward corner of the ivory tower.
Wherever you may wish, I just would like to ask you a few questions and
not do that, but that is fine.
Yeah, I like dart my eyes back and forth. I'm like, yes, maybe somewhere a little more secluded.
The ancestors and I just have a couple of questions, Robin. It won't be long, but if you wish to carry about your business, I have no qualms
It can
accompanying
definitely
you.
wait. It can absolutely wait. Well,
Lead the way. I just have a habit of wandering, so it's best if I accompany someone.
excellent. She looks over at Lord Wenzi. Are you coming along?
If that's all right.
I would prefer if you would.
I love the
of
awkward
course.
stuttering.
Is this? Am I supposed to be? Yes. Of
This
course.
is no worries on my end if that's what you're quite worried about, Lord Wenzi. Maybe it'll give you more time to consider what I offered.
We'll just call this your check-in for the day. 2 birds, 1 stone. Yes.
Fantastic. All right. Well, if we are looking for privacy, we can always go back to my home. I am so sorry to have made you walk twice the distance in one day. But
Why don't I'm sorry to interrupt, but the spot by the river sounded quite lovely, and I haven't been out of the city yet today.
Yeah, I
all
turned
right.
to Robin. It's like, yes, it is. a nice place for a secluded conversation.
I suppose that is where we shall go then. And I will take them to the place where I cried a lot.
Hopefully, this one goes differently.
Riverbed. Hopefully, it's less rainy and less full of empty emotions. And that is, Robin does not speak very much on the way there.
As you are on the way there, you're going through Castile, through the town, and a piece of rotten fruit comes flying and hits Lord Wenzi. And someone yells out, "Protector of the apostate, you are trash."
Robin would like to look to see where that came from.
It's just a villager person who was walking by and had a piece of fruit, and they had like they're doing their groceries.
Okay, I would like to walk over to them.
Yeah, I am the law.
Yep, I am faster than you.
This is gonna go great.
I'm a convict. So what else
Robin
can
has
happen
nothing
to
left to
me?
lose.
Yeah. I mean, like, guess I'll die.
What are you gonna do? Put me on trial?
I would like to go over to them.
Okay, so this is a person. They are sort of like a medium, shorter. They sort of look brown hair, short, masculine.
They look like a villager.
Yeah.
Perfect. I would like to. Do they have like a bag of groceries? Because that'll make this real sad.
Yeah, that's where they grab their thing from and toss it.
Excellent. I want to go just march straight up to them and then without even stopping, just grab them and just like shove them against a wall.
Okay, let's.
I approve.
I don't, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Not while I'm trying to recruit her to my side.
Exactly. That's why Dwayne's being quiet.
This is a roll, I think,
Oh, is it?
to do that.
Roll for
An
shove.
attack? Roll for shove. Is there a violence skill?
Look, if this turns into a brawl, I'm ready.
Oh,
to
let me
go.
see my actual skills. Let me see if I have something that's actually relevant.
I think there is brawling if you don't have one.
No,
Otherwise.
but
Look, if not, I'll hop in on brawling for
I
you.
do have arson, which would be really funny.
No, we're not going there
I'm
yet.
not there yet. Okay.
We're not burning the villagers alive yet.
So I'm not.
There's one way to make more ancestors.
Okay, I guess this is technically a
You're
basic
about to learn the
action.
wisdom of the ancestors.
I'm essentially trying. This would be more intimidation, to be perfectly honest, because
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
trying to physically hurt them. What I am trying to do, and I guess I'll finish the statement, and we can see what how they respond to it. I want to forcefully push them against the wall and say, "That will not help anything here. You will apologize. And think about your actions next time."
Okay.
I do. Hang on. What? Hang on. Hold up. Hang on. I supposedly am good at speaking. Hang on.
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
I have a thing for this.
I might. For the first time ever.
That's how I feel about it.
Well, no, this is about rousing the masses. Just kidding. This is a single mass.
I mean, there's a couple of us here.
There are a few of us. Are
We're
you
already
guys
roused,
are you
though.
guys
We're
roused?
already roused.
Sorry.
Let's get the brawl going. Like, I want to roll for brawling. Finally,
No.
took the skill for a reason.
I think intimidation is the
Yeah, for sure.
one here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not skilled in that yet.
Do you
We're
want
learning skills.
Yeah, but they're a tiny baby villager, so like
Yeah.
they're gonna have will like -1.
I don't know
Right?
about that.
I will,
Hey, it's a will skill.
yeah. I will give them a will of 2.
Cool.
Because they had to have the will to actually throw the tomato in the first place.
All right, but here's a question.
Yep.
Would I get any modifiers if this person knows who I am?
Knows that you're
Um,
ready to kill.
So this could be a linked test. What do people know about you? Do people know that you have committed like murder in the past? Because I think that came up in character creation.
It definitely did. I have murdered more than
More than
was
one.
it? Is it more than one person or at least two people? One of those during like the coup incidents. I definitely think that she has a reputation of being good with words and yet still resorts to more violent actions.
Right. So my thought is that it should be a linked test where you roll a wise to make that true, and then an intimidation test, potentially.
Okay.
Robin wise.
Robin wise. Yeah. I am way into that.
Okay, so let's have that other skill be rumors wise. That seems a bit broad.
Well, wait, hold on.
We
Everyone-
do have gossip as like
Everyone
a town.
has gossips.
Everybody in this town has
A bunch
gossip.
of dang nosy gossips, right?
Okay, I
Mhm.
would give a bonus dice for that. Yep.
Yeah, we're all curious gossips, I think was what it
My
was.
first successful.
We are all curious gossips.
Sure.
Yay!
So they for sure know.
They for sure do know. Or at least
If you know,
think
you
they
know.
know.
Yeah. They
Okay.
know enough.
So would I just add one into modifiers?
I think that's where it goes. Yeah.
Okay. If it's not,
We
we'll
can
figure
redo
it
it.
out.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want any Artha, although I'm really tempted actually. Because I do have just like, wait, okay, I have a lot of fate. I don't have a lot of persona. Base op is 2, right?
Yeah, we'll go with base on 2.
Okay. Additional complications. Are there?
Wait,
Yes.
can I help intimidate?
That's a good question. I think you
I
can.
found it there. I was trying to like skim through it. The answer is yes, there is a way to help. But I was trying to figure. When they act together, only one player rolls, so that would still be Maria rolling as Robin. So they're considered the primary character.
But do you
3
need
special
this...
conditions must go for
Oh, I think that 3 special conditions will list it off.
it. Cannot be forced, must be open and agreed upon. Acting player is free to turn it down. Second, if you're helping, never mind, that's if you're playing IRL. Lastly, the helping player must participate in the scene and describe what they're doing to help.
Sure.
So that'd be like, I think, me running up behind and one of my. I'm trying to I don't know if I pull a sword, but yes.
I want to hinder somehow, but I don't think that's
I
applicable.
love it.
As an obstacle.
Yeah.
Is Dwin like getting like almost like trying to like get in between? He's a little bit slower because he's a rotund priest, but
Matthew Foreman. Robin will not be pulling out their gun in the middle of the road. That would be complicated. It's complicated enough.
I don't know if anyone would know how to feel about that either.
I don't know.
What is that?
what is this? What is this object?
Would Dwin hindering be like an additional complication type of situation, or would it just up the obstacle?
I think it would
Finding
up the
a specific-
obstacle. Let's go with this. We'll do the helping die and the obstacle. And the one thing I want to double check is for helping, skills help skills, attributes help attributes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't quite know if there's any specifics on helping for beginner's luck. We won't worry about that, but I'm going to write it down as a question just so we can figure it out for the future. Yeah, and when you help, I think you also get the test.
That's what I was thinking, but I couldn't remember for sure.
Let's go with that, and we can double check. Cool. And then I think you're good to go to roll.
Okay. So I have a +1 modifier from good old gossips. No Artha. Base op is 3 now with the good old hindrance from my friend Dwyn.
Sorry, I'm having another thought.
Or is that just as a complication?
I think it's a complication because
Yes.
don't think I would double the effect of the difficulty for you because of the
yeah,
whole
I think
like
that's it.
dangerous luck thing. So
You have 2 helping dice though, one from Gossip and one from Wenzi.
Aha! I knew I was forgetting something.
Also, it says if the exponent of the helping ability is 4 or lower, 1 dice is given. If it's 5 or higher, 2 are granted. Is that my helping ability? Or... Yeah, it'd have to be my helping ability, right?
Yeah.
The weird part is I am also learning intimidation.
Yeah, so I think that means it's technically 0.
Okay.
Let's do 1 dice for now, and
Yeah,
I'll
call it 1
double
die and
check.
keep moving.
Okay. I think I did everything correctly. Oops.
Oh no, 6s.
Nope.
Rip.
Oops. So close. Dang it.
That was close.
that's
So
very close, but
Dwayne, how dare you?
it's actually my fault.
It's literally, it's all your fault.
It's all Dwayne being like,
We're trying to shake down
calm
commoners
down.
over here, Dwayne.
So I think that is the case. As this is going on, the Robin and Wenzi sort of like approach this person, and Robin is obviously going up to, intimidate them. And I
Cause
think,
an altercation.
yeah. And Dwyn, how do you like interject or interrupt, or what's your?
I think it's like a physical interjection. Like Dwyn is like going to put himself in between Robin and this commoner.
Okay. And when you do that, that gives them a chance to run away. And as they do, they just say, "Good luck at your trial, you traitor." And they whoosh.
Lord Wenzi will remember this.
Robin will.
Face is seared into my mind.
Yep. Robin stares over at Dwyn. Robin will remember this.
Dwyn just kind of do not wish to see violence beget violence. That is all. There are ways to handle this that do not paint you in a further negative light.
I'm simply embracing the persona that the people have given me.
And I wish to see whether that is true to you or not. The ancestors wish it, really.
The ancestors are sure talkative these days.
The ancestors... Yes, we'll put it that way. Shall we continue?
Robin will turn and walking past Lord Wenzi, just kind of like brush off a bit of the fruit and just keep walking.
Okay. So the group of you get back to Robin's. Where's the gun in this situation? Just checking in.
I think it's being stowed in her boot at the time, like it was when she went to go see Tenna.
Got it.
In the good hiding place, not in the back storage.
Why don't you want us to find this gun?
Because I don't know what the hell it does.
Okay.
It's a bad gun.
Yeah, oops, we should have let you find the magic dust. Our bad.
Yeah, it's good. It's fine.
That's why I suggested the river. I was trying to be helpful.
Yeah, it's fine.
Also,
It's
found the
good.
magic dust in the gun.
Oh, did you go back to the river?
That's where
Yes.
we're headed.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
I got confused.
You're good.
Well, we were on the way there at least.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're at the river.
It's fine. It all works out.
It's all good. You get to the river. You have some nice sort of peace and quiet away from some of the hustle and bustle. and you have some time to talk.
I think Dwayne, before anything, is going to pull out his circulation tools and begin to etch in the ground.
Okay.
Robin takes like a half step back as he starts to do this, just kind of like,
Yeah. Same though. Like, oh, this is new. Okay. Chill.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, I'm very unfamiliar with the practices of the ancestors.
Yes, is this what the ancestors have to offer?
This is what I have to offer as a speaker.
Well, I suppose maybe we should let you speak then.
Whether that comes to fruition now or this evening, this is yet to be seen. I work best under the stars.
Robin will just take a full step back.
I have made my preparations. I would wish to ask you a few questions, Robin, if that is all right with you and your retainer or parole officer, as it were.
I feel like you would ask them anyway, so
I am but a humble servant of our guardians, so I do not wish to step on toes.
I don't seem to be in the middle of anything, so why don't you go ahead?
The most prudent and forward, of course. Were you at the root of the storm, Robin? Are you truly the cause of Castile's pain and suffering?
I feel like you've asked me two very different questions.
Then answer both.
I don't know if the second is one that I can answer. I feel only Castile can answer that.
Then how about the first?
That I can't answer because I don't know how it started.
So if you have no knowledge of the beginning, you can't have been the one to persuade it into occurrence. Unless you have other things to say. I do not know why you do not speak of your own innocence. You dance as if hindered.
Tell me, speaker, have you ever been unsure of something? Any time in your life?
I am.
Say like
Depends on. Yeah, I was gonna say, do you mean physical or? Kind of considers your question for a moment and looks out over the river. In what manner do you mean unsure? Do you mean who I am? Do you mean what I am for? Do you mean where I am going? This is
Have you
quite
ever been
broad.
unsure? Well, then let me help. Have you been unsure about how your actions will affect perhaps people that you admire or respect or hold a deer?
I do not go a day without that unassurance. Fortunately, I do not allow myself the luxury of anxiety in that regard. I do not hold that to myself. I simply give that to the spirits.
What do they do with it?
They guide me. They answer me, and they hold Castile in reverence. They could do the same for all if only but given a chance.
This luxury of anxiety, as you put it. Some may not consider it a luxury. Some may consider it more of a curse. And to some, being unsure of something causes them to choose to not speak rather than misspeak.
Luxury or curse, it is still something that we all dance with. It is merely the light and the direction which we look upon it. I cannot begin to fathom or understand your direction or light that shines upon your anxieties and unassurance, but I can only offer guidance and a consultation. I do wish what's best for Castile, and I do believe that it is not out of my step that you, and kind of looks between the group, are what's best for it. Now, only if you would guarantee, or at least offer up some sort of agreements or disagreements with the manner of which you have been charged. Then we could move forward accordingly.
Corey, what were the specifics of my charge?
The specifics were that there was rumors that you were responsible for the storm, and they wanted to charge someone.
Okay.
I think.
That sounds right.
Is there something that Robin wants out of this? Because that could be a role, potentially. If that's something also Robin is willing to give up, is some information on that.
Yeah, she doesn't want to.
Because, like, it sounds like you're at the point of saying, like, well, you didn't do it, at least not, like, you didn't intentionally, like, do that. But is that, like, actually what they care about in the trial? Is kind of the tension there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, are you being charged with first-degree arcane storm creation, or
Third degree.
whatever the manslaughter equivalent is?
Yeah.
Arcane storm creation.
Storm slaughter.
Storm
Yeah.
slaughter.
Negligence, maybe? Criminal negligence.
Arcane negligence.
Um. God, what does Robin want? Robin, what does Robin want out of the situation? Robin wants. Robin wants Dwin to be placated, so that Dwin will leave her alone.
So
That's what she wants, like, immediately.
Yeah, if we're taking it to rolls, it sounds like rhetoric.
potentially.
Sort of persuade.
Yeah. Is the trade-off then to see who... So I think it's a versus. And if Robin... Is there a case... I think
Yeah,
it's...
what does
Okay.
Dwin want out of this interaction?
Dwin just wants an answer. It's like
Okay.
a simple yes or no, honestly, right now.
So
Just so that he has some substance from the person for that consultation with the spirits later.
Yeah. Is it possible that the trade-off could be something along the lines of an answer in exchange for space? Or like some freedom from what the Church of the Ancestors is doing? Is that something that the characters want?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And so if Dwin wins the contested one, he gets the answer, and then trying to figure out what the case is if Robin wins.
And leave Robin alone.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get the answer?
If Robin wins,
Yeah.
I don't. But see, I don't see Dwin
Yeah, it's weird
being
because
able
like
to
that's
give
not
up.
100%. They're not looking for equal or opposite things.
Yeah.
If Robin wins, Castile falls, according to Matthew Foreman.
Okay, so there's that.
There we go. We got it.
Fine. Like, if there is no Castile, then I'll roll whatever's next.
How about either way, and this is just a suggestion, feel free to answer as your characters if this agrees with them. Either way, Robin answers, and if Dwin succeeds, he has some idea that this is true, but doesn't commit to giving Robin space, and if Robin wins, she gives an answer, but Dwin doesn't really know.
It's more a vague BS.
Yeah, it's like an impression.
But it's an answer.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like the best that you'll get, but then also
Yeah.
has to leave Robin alone.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. Okie dokie. Rolls. What skills do y'all want to use?
I mean, skills. What do I have?
Arson. I will find a way to use arson someday.
You keep tempting us with this arson roll.
When it happens, it's really gonna happen.
Like, back and reread
I
the
have all of my stuff is based around spirit summoning.
Yep.
Mine is about reading and also, I have rule of law. Interesting.
Yeah, I have doctrine and astrology, but I don't think this helped me here. So I'm gonna use persuasion again.
Okay, the other one is you could do interrogation because you're trying to get an answer. I'm just suggesting, but you don't
Yeah.
have to.
The only thing with I guess what's the skill on interrogation? Or the what's it called? You know what I mean?
The obstacle?
Stat. The stat.
Oh,
yeah.
it's based off of will.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use persuasion again because I'm working towards it, and
Yep.
not like I have either. So, okay.
Cool.
Am I rolling? Or are we rolling contested?
Yeah, it'll be a versus test. What does Robin want to roll?
Well,
I think the two were persuasion or rhetoric.
yeah. Neither of which I have. Why do I have perception twice? I feel like one of those is supposed to be persuasion.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't you?
Oh no! I lied. Sorry, I was reading the thing. Perception. It's a thing. Never mind. I was reading like the linked
Yeah.
attribute. All right. Cool. You said persuasion or rhetoric?
Maybe. I mean, those are just ideas, not set
Yeah.
in stone. You could do your roll and roll 20. If
Rhetoric
you want to.
makes sense.
Okay.
It's a conveyance of thoughts, ideas, and concepts in an interest of winning an argument.
And the ideas here are that, I guess, what are the like ideas?
The I think the high concept that is being discussed is the guilt or lack of guilt that Robin has or perceives that she has, and Robin trying to take a stance of kind of a roundabout stance of I wasn't involved, so therefore I'm not necessarily involved.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I wasn't involved, therefore I could not have possibly been involved.
Yeah. So the idea is that people who aren't involved shouldn't have to like divulge this information, shouldn't be subjected to this like questioning
Yeah.
kind of thing.
More like I've told good old Lord Wensley about 7,000 times. I don't know. I didn't do it. I wasn't there.
Okay.
Look, if you just give me a straight answer, I wouldn't have to bring the
Bring this
emphasis.
If
spirit
you would
guard.
just tell us the straight answer for once in your life, Robin,
tell
none of
me
this
about
would be
the
going
gun.
on.
Excellent. All right, rhetoric. Rhetoric gets no modifiers. I don't think I add like anything to this.
I don't think so. And we'll do ob 0 for these because it's dependent on each other.
Ob 0.
Let's see how this goes.
So base ob 0.
Yeah, base ob 0.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. So it is worth noting, this is using beginner's luck. So it's every 2 successes counts as 1. So you technically only have 1 success.
Excellent.
Yeah. I say that because there's a really good chance that you two tie.
Interesting.
Yep. There it is. Do you either of
Interesting.
you... So
I got a 6.
do you want to go for it?
I have so many fate. I would
Yep.
love to
Because you
spend.
got to have an extra session.
I did. I did earn those.
Mhm.
Let's roll a G6. Whoops.
Okay.
Take the note of fate. Take the fate.
I did. I took it out.
So make sure to mark your tests. And I think the tie scenario is an answer does come out and Robin also gets to be left alone, I think.
I thought
You
that
get
was
the
the whole.
best of both.
So we're saying this is a more like direct answer then? So like I
Yes.
get what I want, Robin gets what she wants. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've already marked. I think that's my 3rd persuasion tonight.
Nice.
Yep, you've been...
You're so close to learning to persuade.
I'm just trying to collect all of the skills. I currently have 5 I'm trying to learn.
I just want the one. I just want to be able to talk to people.
I want to do everything.
Okay, sweet. So that exchange happens, and y'all can keep going on that.
So...
I don't know if my actions were what caused the storm to come about. Because I do not understand potentially what my actions have done. And so it's hard for me to say if I am innocent or not, because I don't know. And that is what I was trying to pursue when you found me in the tower.
Understood. That is more than I could ask for. I will leave you be, Marlon, but I wish you well in your trial, and I will... If you need to speak to me or wish to consult, do not hesitate to reach out. Lord Wenzi, your guidance and direction are most welcome. I appreciate you getting me here, and if you have any thoughts on the matter,
Yes. Corey in the chat. I think it is time for spirits.
I have to wait till night, really.
Oh, okay.
Cercination does take hours.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think the one last thing I get. And then Robin, as you said, you were in the middle of attempting to get to the bottom of some of these things. Suppose we shall leave you to that, but if you ever require any assistance, so within reason, of course, you'll keep us in mind.
Of course, it seems that you are the only friend I have right now.
Yes, a strange friendship at that, but
we all desire the same thing, I think.
Yes, indeed.
More than I know by that statement.
I think we all just want what's best for Castile.
Sure. So, like take like a half step and be like, yeah, and I go.
I gotta go.
You're free to
I gotta go see a man about magic dust.
I gotta go see a guy.
I'm sure I will find my way back safely tonight. Or at least spend time for the trial.
Yeah, we give you a knowing look and like, all right, if you say so, buddy.
If you have, and Robin, before you go, if you have anything that could at least help, if you have any items or things that you hold dear, I can read the spirits from them and help. Maybe give testimony to what they call. Because I have touch of ages and I could touch your gun and tell things. Just let me touch your gun, Robin.
But this goes against both my belief and my instincts.
Yeah. Let me touch your gun. Do not fret now. I just merely wanted to place the thought in your head.
I'll keep that in mind.
Good evening, and I'm sure I will see you all tomorrow.
Cool.
I think there's I think Robin pauses.
Oh. Like a steel pause or like...
Like
A narrative pause.
a narrative pause.
Hmm.
A beat, one would say. There's
How about that item on your back? Zach was in chat.
well, here's
How about that weird thing on your back?
how about that weird thing?
Huh?
The spirits think about that one.
Well, okay, here's what's going through her mind right now. She has tried to keep this thing secret for so long. One, because it feels like it's moderately incriminating. And two, because it could put Tenna in a bad light. However, things progressing as they have, perhaps it is time that Tenna is put in a bad light.
Also,
And
we're your
so-
friends. You
And
just-
so,
Yes.
she will, after a brief moment, a Castile pause, will say, Speaker, you are one who deals in truths, right?
That is all the ancestors provide. Oh, I'm definitely a cult guy, by the way.
Yeah.
I am devout.
Yep. My condition is that I stay here with you as you do this.
I would not ask for separation, merely just cooperation.
She will reach down into her boot and pull the gun out.
Yes, we won. We beat Burning Wheel, Taryn.
We made
Done
it!
it. You beat me.
Dun, 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 dun.
She makes it a point to not ever let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you wish to do with it, it will not leave my hands.
I
Put her in the center of the spirit
Much-
circle.
much understand. I only require a simple touch. If you will follow me, and I'll lead you back to the circulation circle that I've set up.
It's weird feelings.
Oh yeah, Dwin's not great. And just like, if you will place it, and if you need your hands in the center, and I will read what needs to be read. And I believe that's a perception check, as it says, Touch of Ages. Perception test to learn emotion, arcana, even age from an item. So
Okay, yes. This is new. Are you reading it right now?
what was that?
Are you reading the skill right now? That's what it says is...
Yeah, that's what it says on like the thing that I pulled up. I will pull the book. I think it has a page on there, so yeah,
Okay.
page 350.
Nice.
I opened exactly to that page, so the spirits are with me.
Hey.
Touch of Ages. The trait allows the character to read objects through her touch. Successful perception test will give impressions present in the object, strong emotion, arcana, and even age. Type, name of object, obstruction 1, age of object, obstruction 2, length of time the object has been in its current location, obstruction 3, recent events surrounding the object that left physical evidence.
It sounds like that one. Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah, I think that was the kind of the one that we're looking at.
It's up
Recent
to you.
events.
Okay, sure.
That left physical
Yeah.
evidence.
Yeah, yeah, I think that sort of fits what I'm doing.
Yep.
So skills and stats, perception, modifiers, curious.
I don't know if that helps your Like, you're curious, so you're doing it, but I don't think that empowers your ability to.
I've got another thing.
Wait, I got something else.
I've got something for this.
Wait.
Information. Da 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 da. Devout.
So my thought is, typically those traits don't give out dice. The only reason I gave out one before is because it was a cultural one that everyone.
Fair enough. I am totally understanding of that.
Yeah.
I've already used my Ratha, so don't have any of that. Obstruction 3. Submit.
Yep. Nice.
That's a success.
Oh, as an aside, I forgot I had cramped hands. So like, it's like white knuckling, and it's yep.
Clutching that gun too much.
Hey, yep. Well, it's from writing too much, but got some carpal tunnel in there. Look at you with that perfect success.
Hey.
Yep.
Great success.
Cool.
It's a success. So.
Okay.
All right.
So recent events. How recently did Robin get the gun? I'm just trying to think if this goes back to Tenna's time period or not.
I think Robin got the gun. Robin was gifted the gun shortly before the Arcane Storm appeared. I think it was given, at least to her knowledge, as like a gift of like, hey, you won. I like you
Right.
a lot, but also as like a, hey, you really helped me with like getting me to the position that I'm in, and like, you know,
Mhm.
here's a great job, best boss mug. Also,
Hey, wanted to plant some evidence real quick.
Okay.
well,
So I think as Dwin is reading this and sort of looking back into its recent past, you can see reasonably far into what has been going on with Robin, and Robin hasn't used it.
not except for once,
Yeah.
exactly one time.
Now, do you think it? How recent was that? Is basically I'm trying to figure out. Yeah.
Well, here's what I remember us discussing. We kind of established that this is not a like projectile weapon.
Yeah.
This is more of a like a magic gun.
Yep.
And we were playing with the idea that it might have been like an accidental firing, or like a, I wonder what this thing does.
Yep.
And whether it was like just correlation that it happened to happen this way, it fired into an already active storm cloud.
Yes.
And then shortly thereafter, Magic Storm came. So whether Robin believes it was her fault because of that. It was not nefarious or malicious, but she thinks that she caused it. Now, whether she did or not is like TB.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Get it? Weather?
Okay. So I think then. Do you think Dwin sees that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh
okay.
yeah. I think Dwin sees it, and I don't think it paints a good picture.
Right.
I also can learn how old the object is.
I would love to know that as well.
I also get that because that's the obstruction 0. So I think I get everything up into the obstruction
I think you have to
picked.
do a separate test.
Oh, I
for
do
each
have to do a
one.
separate test.
I think so.
Can I do another test to learn how old it is, or I don't know how my test thing works because like
Right.
I
So
didn't fail. I just don't know how the system works, honestly. Tell me, Corey.
Speaking of, also make sure you mark down that you did a routine test for perception.
I don't think
Okay.
perception has routine.
Oh, yeah, you don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because it's a stat. Sorry.
That's interesting. You know what? Let's say for now that you do get all of them, and we can figure it out later. Because
Okay.
I feel like that'd be a bit weird to do like one then the next.
Multiple
one.
tests to like.
Um,
Yeah.
My hunch is that you can read an object once. and
Okay.
learn
And
something.
Yeah, I
based
think
on what you
that's-
pick.
Kind of to, yeah. Ugh.
I hate missing out
that's
on
not
information that's stuff
But
behind.
that's not fun.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Let's have fun.
yeah. We'll do the whole thing. We can figure it out if we want to change
Yeah.
it later. Cool. So the age of the object. This thing is. I actually have hunches about how old this is. I think it's about 250 years old.
Interesting.
It's been in its current location briefly.
Briefly, yeah. I didn't think that would be quite useful
Yeah.
information because it's a mobile object. So
The type of the object, magical gun, magical pistol, and then its name.
Give it a cool name like a sword.
Its name is. I think I know what its name is. Its name is the right hand of something. I just don't know what that something is.
fair
Is it like
enough.
a name, like a proper
A
noun.
place.
It is a place. I have to figure out what it is, and we can.
No
fill that
worries.
in.
But yeah. That's good. We're good. It's all good here. I know the name of the item.
Yep.
I think Dwayne is going to try and not reveal that he just pulled so much information off of it. Just kind of like bow and think Robin.
Okay. And now you want to commune with the spirits on it, or
Yes, but I want to. That'll take me a while to get to that point because I gotta get everything ready, and
Okay.
that's they're gone by this point probably, unless they're sticking around.
Robin said that she was going to stay.
Oh, okay.
Robin is going to stay.
Okay.
I
Is
don't have to wander
Wednesday-
back. That's good.
Mhm.
Is Wednesday gonna stay?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think maybe.
Might as well, right?
Yeah, I need this information. I got a coup to plan. Gotta know what this magical gun does.
Okay. Cool. So let's.
We're plotting and scheming in the woods. We might as well stick around.
Yeah,
Right.
we've got a coup planned.
A coup. When you coup.
When you coup.
Got a coup.
Awesome. Okay, so let's.
Spirit summoning dog.
This is gonna
The
be
4
a
pages.
whole process. So just for the audience, just so you know, this is gonna be an entire thing. It's gonna take us a bit. We're gonna figure it out. We're
Before
gonna
we
go-
get too deep in it, Robin's gonna just get herself comfortable while this whole process is happening, and
Mhm.
like, she's had like double hand death grip on this thing.
Do some stretches.
Well, it takes her almost a solid minute to get her hands to actually let go because they are just locked
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
place.
Can we
And it's
quick do a scene between maybe Wednesday and Robin while I use the restroom?
Oh yeah,
don't
yes.
know.
yeah,
Go for it. You go do your thing. We can figure out some stuff.
yeah.
Um,
It could be while she's like
Mm-hmm.
kind of at a. We've established there's trees nearby.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just gonna find one of those trees and like sit down, and then I think just from an outside perspective, you could tell that she has had to go and do this before, like her hands have locked up this way before. Probably not both at the same time. So you can see that she's like really like trying to breathe and like trying to get her hands to work. That's what you get to deal with.
Gotcha. Yeah, so while you're sitting there doing that, like, now that the gun has been revealed, yeah, I'm like, yeah, chatting with you. I'm like, well, at least it's nice to see that maybe that wasn't such a back ailment you had before. Maybe just a little sleight of hand. So.
It was a moment of panic.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's here, and will probably never leave my hands again, apparently. So that's that's wonderful and new.
I doubt it strays too far from them anyway, if I'd have to guess.
I mean, I don't go around waving this at people.
You could have tried that earlier, though. That might have been a little more intimidating with the clown in the town square.
Right.
Just like
there's a certain unknown. I don't know what this is. And I feel if I were to just simply show it off, I don't know. It looks too much like those bandits that came in a while ago and kind of made things more difficult for a small time. They had things that were very similar to this, not quite the same. And I don't know. There is some it's like I was telling Dwayne, there is a certain persona that has been bestowed upon me, and there's just, I don't want to add anything more to it.
No, it is probably better to lay low a bit, so close to the trial.
She definitely sticks the gun back in her boot, by the way.
Yeah. Also, since you mentioned that it looked like the ones that the attackers had, whenever that was, that we established in the quiet year.
Yeah, it looks
I don't know if we established that if I was involved in that, if I would have been part of the militia at that point. But if I would recognize that once, like, I get a closer look at the.
Not this.
No, okay.
Not this one.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think, like,
just thinking that I can compare it. Like,
yeah, I'm just thinking of, like, we don't especially know exactly what this is, like, in general.
Yep.
Right.
As far as, like, getting an indication of, like, oh, hey, those things shot projectiles.
Okay. Anything else that you two?
I guess the one last thing I want to read out. It's like, so when you said earlier that you were trying to figure out what it does back at the tower, what exactly was the plan there?
Well, I was privy to some information that suggests there's a mineral that's mined in the, that big old volcano that we have.
Yeah, if we're not named the volcano, just
no. If we did, I don't care.
Yeah,
it's
fine.
just a volcano.
The volcano.
The volcano.
The Castile. Consider the Castile.
Yeah.
Consider the Castile.
Do you consider it the volcano?
That might have.
No, Matthew. That's the reference, not the.
Oh, Megan, we have to chuck the gun in the mountain.
I don't want a Mount Doom. supposedly there's some mineral that has uh exotic properties, and I thought perhaps that it might, I don't know, be enlightening at the very least.
Interesting.
It's something.
Okay, that's all I had. Lord Wenzi ponders on how to make that happen. In the background, chilling,
Yes, he
watching
does.
some summoning happen.
Cool.
And I may also bio very quick while we get into that whole thing.
Yep.
Bring me
Um,
spirits.
Bring me the spirits.
So what I want to do for the spirit is Tara and I will go through this document, this flow. Ooh, smacked my lap. We'll go through this flow chart, figure it out, sort of like what the role is going to be. Once we've done that, we'll figure out what it looks like, and then they'll converge, and we'll do the roll, and then see the results. So first step
Sweetness.
up is figure out what domain it's in. Do you want to tell us which domain you're using?
I was waiting for Night to use the stars domain, so
Yep.
that was my plan at least. Yeah, so
Makes sense. For the viewers, when you're doing spirit binding, you have domains that you're familiar with, and you can only work with those domains. So you had stars as one. Cool.
yeah, so Dwyn has the domains of city, stars, temple, knowledge, and kin. So
Nice. So the next part is we have to figure out your dice, so how much you're going to be rolling. So your spirit binding skill, your domain, spirit marks, your
Okay.
cercination.
let me see all of that. Is that in the skills stuff maybe on this?
Yeah, it should be in your skills bar on your character.
Let me check. Spirit bind. Does circination help? Is that
Yep. So how that'll
Yeah.
work is,
there's
There's a-
circination? Then
yeah, it'll be 2 rolls.
okay. Yeah.
So
We might. Yeah.
Yep, that's fine. So we've got 5 dice from Spirit Binding, which is already on your character sheet. We'll figure out the cercination in a second. I don't think there's any offerings.
No, I don't think so. What does Forks do? Because I do have astrology. So
Yep. So how Forks works is you choose that skill to like help you in what you're doing,
Okay.
and it gives you 1 extra dice. Astrology is the special dice. That's the one that explodes up or down.
Okay, yeah. So I do have astrology. So
Yep. So we'll link that one in. We have to figure out the strength of the spirit because that's gonna help us out with a lot of things.
gotcha.
So the 3 things a spirit can do is it can reveal, it can protect or succor. I don't know what that word means, so it's also said protect. Or you can ask it to do a service for you. In general, is Terran frozen?
I'm here. My
Oh.
Zoom call is frozen, but
Okay.
I don't know if we're so close to the end. I don't know if you want to restart it at all. So
I think it's okay. It's up to you.
I'm fine
Okay.
being a voice in the void.
So what do you want this spirit to help you with?
I would like it to help me with. I don't know how broad I can get with this, but basically discerning sort of Robin's involvement in the storm.
Okay. So Robin's involvement in the storm, insofar as the stars would know about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Consulting the stars because they've got more of a vantage point in the ancestors that are associated with it. So
Yeah. And you're trying to figure out some like factual stuff about what happened?
yes.
Okay,
is the case.
cool. So to me, that sounds like you're trying to do the reveal one to get
Okay.
information.
Yep.
So the spirit is going to be strength 3.
Okay. Works for me.
Boom, boom, boom. Then we have to figure out a few other things. This isn't hurried. Or sort of scrolling through the doc looking for other stuff to jump to next. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I think it's just regular obstacle 3 spirit. And so what you can do now is you have 5 days for your spirit binding, and you can use your cercination skill, and you can choose how many extra dice you want to get, and that will be your obstacle for cercination. So if you want 3 extra dice, it's an ob 3 cercination test.
Okay. So basically, cercination. I choose how many extra dice I want. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm gonna choose 2 just to give me like a.
Okay.
There we are. Modifier 0, Artha 0, base obstacle 2.
Cool.
Oh, I could have gone a little higher, but I didn't want to risk it, so.
Yeah.
So I got 2 extra dice.
Yep. So.
Plus, yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Plus which?
No, I was gonna say plus the astrology stuff, or yeah.
Yep.
But that explodes up or down, so it's sort of weird.
Yeah, we'll roll that one separately.
Yeah. So.
And then, do you want to use your spirit mark for this?
I do want to, I guess, bind it to my tattoos around my eyes. I guess I didn't mention those, but he's got kind of these like swirling marks that sort of come out from his eyes that sort of turn upwards towards the crown of his face.
Yeah. And those give you power in astral light, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
The phrasing exactly, just because I was happy with it, is I think it's in information, but dancing with light, eyes dancing with light.
Cool.
So
Sweet. So you can
and it has
roll...
to do specifically with stars and stuff.
Yep. Nice. So I think you can do the roll. I think that's all the setup that we have.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us what this looks like? What does this whole entire process look like for Dwin?
For Dwin, this is very much, I mean, it's very in-depth. This obviously has taken him like multiple hours to set up. It is now dark. The stars are out. He's very focused on, he's building upwards with like stones and sticks and stuff he's pulled from his pack that sort of help pull this sort of ritual circle almost 3D.
Yeah.
That sort of help point skyward, and obviously at the center of this, he's sort of built this sort of stone tower that helps him direct upwards, and then it's very much built around him prostrating himself next to that, and then calling on the spirits. It's very his eyes are very wide open. They start to begin to kind of like almost mist from in the where the tattoos are around it.
Yeah.
So
Cool. And then I think you can go ahead and roll spirit binding on that one.
okay, so I've got 2 extra dice, right, from the circination.
Yeah, and then 1 from your spirit mark, and we'll roll the astrology one separate.
Okay, yeah. Modifiers 3, Paratha nothing. Base obstacle 3.
3. Yep.
Yep.
Woo. Okay, so now you can roll your astrology die, because sometimes it can explode downwards, and that is... Okay, so that one's fine.
Didn't explode either direction, so we're just good.
Yeah.
So
So my next question is, do you want to spend fate? Because how this works is you successfully bound the spirit, and now it's going to count down your dice for retribution. So
Okay.
Ob 3 was to bind the spirit, then it's Ob 6 to avoid retribution. So right now the spirit's going to have a strength of 2 to come back at you, essentially.
Okay, and then, so what would you said fate?
Yeah, fate will let you re-roll one of your failed dice. So it's basically
Okay.
giving you a chance to get an extra success if you want.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. So that basically makes it more difficult for it to be retribution. Is that
Yep.
what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So roll 1d6, right?
Yep.
Nope.
Okay. That's fine.
So it's an ob 2, and then I roll what?
So how this works is I just make a note that in my pocket at any point that I want, I can use these spirits to impose retribution on you that has a
Okay.
strength of 2. So it's just sort of something I've got now in my pocket for the future.
Nice. That's good.
Yep.
I like that.
So you channel into the stars to see what they saw, and looking at it, you can see sort of this storm cloud, and you can see the firing of it that goes out and hits the arcane storm, or the storm rather. It becomes an arcane storm. But the thing that is really interesting in this situation is that along with the right hand of Asturias, you can see that there's also a left hand somewhere on the ground. It's sort of vague and tough to see because the stars can't see that well, but you see something else there. And you essentially see that, yes, this pistol was the magical arcane thing that began to ravage and go to Castile. Yep.
But I know it wasn't the only cause based on the fact that there was both a right and a left hand. Is that what I'm getting from that, or is that more there's another pistol?
I think you're getting the there's another pistol vibe.
Okay. Do I know if it was the right or left hand that started the storm?
It was the right hand.
It was the right hand?
Yep, the one that Robin has.
Okay. And I guess, do I assume that when she shot at the regular storm, that was what caused it?
Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
Oops.
Okay, but what if we lie?
No,
Well, what
that's
if-
actually what Dwayne's definitely gonna do. So
What if?
No, we're the only ones who saw this.
I
What if we
see
didn't?
anything, so but yeah, I guess he comes out of the whole process and kind of just looks over at Robin. And just kind of like gives almost a sorrowful like bow of the head.
I assume all of that was worth something.
Yes, and right now, because the spirit is sort of minded to the sort of very like thin tattoos around his eyes, they're sort of glowing right now. He just kind of turns, just yes. Now what we need to decide to do is what we do with that information.
Sharing it would be great. I have been looking
What
for
I've-
answers for a long time as well.
What I have gained and what the stars have granted is that one, the item that you carry is called the right hand of Asturias. There is a left hand, but currently that item is to blame for the storm. But I also do not believe that that was your intention. It kind of just gives an opening for that to follow.
You kind of see this like defeated look kind of come across her face. And she'll say, well, suppose that settles that then.
No. And he kind of just gives a matter-of-fact shake of his head to that. No, I think that does not settle it. You're put on trial for something you did not intend. And that is as much a sin against the ancestors as it is against you. Something would imagine that this left hand could maybe fix our problems as much as the right hand created them. I think it's upon us. He looks between Wenzi and Robin to maybe discern a path forward.
Yes, so what are our next steps here? The information from the spirits is certainly all well and good, but I don't know that it helps us out much with the trial either way.
Agreed, because I don't think guilt necessarily falls on Robin's head, even though you are the one who pulled the trigger.
My fear is that this is also not a trial that looks to identify guilt necessarily, but rather blame.
I agree. I don't. Were this information given to any other individuals in Castile, they would see it as a blatant verdict. It's sometimes I am jealous of them because everything to them is so simple.
Is that end scene?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
So, yeah, and I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to give a pause for anyone else who wanted to add in. Okay, cool. I think we can hop over to the wrap up. If you want, Taryn, now's probably a good chance if you want to pop in a note, if you want to.
I will probably do that because this is annoying. I can't read face cues, so
Yeah, that's fine. So what we'll do is we'll hop in and do our end of session stuff. I just want to show like the first 2 minutes of the trial, just so that everyone has that information for writing your beliefs for the trial. There we go. Cool. The screen will fix itself in a second. So we can do a flashback if we want to go check out the deaths. We'll figure that stuff out all later. But the first 2 minutes of the trial is this. And this is important for your beliefs in the future. They gather sort of in the ivory tower. There's sort of a nice overhang that allows folks to look and watch and see the proceedings. There's a group of members called the Council who are going to be watching over this. And Tenna begins and says, and welcomes everyone. And with her welcome, she addresses the crowd and says, "Thank you for coming to the trial of Robin Weir." Is it Weir or Wire? Weir.
It's weird. Yeah.
Robin Weir, where we look to investigate and decide the situation that is the Arcane Storm and rumors and gossip that has been around it. I would like to turn it over to the council to make their opening remarks. At which point, sort of like a General Palpatine looking man from the council stands up and in his sort of old scraggly voice says, "Thank you, Tenna, for your introductions to this trial. We would like to begin by saying that we have decided, Tenna, that you have no decisionary power in this trial. It is unfit for you as someone who is beside Robin to participate. Please go sit down. Your role here is over." And that is where we will leave that trial.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, so we can write some beliefs around that and stuff for next session. Let's hop in and give out some awards for
Good
our
behavior.
stuff. Yeah, for good behavior. Do you want to start with Robin?
Oh sure.
Cool. Yeah, so we'll go through each belief. If you work towards it, Fate. If you concluded it, Persona. And then we'll take a quick look at the other ones and see if there's anything that really added to the game. Yeah, do you want to take us away and walk through your beliefs with us?
Yeah. Tenna betrayed me. I am innocent. I am owed revenge. I only argue this because of the kind of the process that led to showing Legun.
Yep.
Was in response to wanting to destabilize Tenna's position for revenge.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's concluded, the revenge that you're going to try and seek? Or do you think this was just working towards that?
I think based on what I just witnessed, I think it's concluded. Because I feel like there's other things going on. The position may already be compromised.
Okay, cool. I think that's worth a Persona then.
Yay.
Yeah, and then you can add in a new belief for the next session in there.
Sweet. Okay, no, new belief. Okay. Second one. There's power in this weapon. It belongs to me. I will keep it secret at all costs. Whoops.
Yep.
Oopsie doodles. That didn't happen.
Well, it's concluded.
It is technically concluded. I did not keep it secret. It has been concluded or is no longer relevant. Although it could just be altered.
Yeah, it could be the case that like you got Fate.
Secret is a gradient.
Yeah.
The trick though is you can't like double up on getting rewards for certain things. So you already got Persona for showing the gun at the one point.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's definitely not. I don't think it's concluded. I think kind of like what Zach was saying. It's less about like keeping it secret from everyone and more about keeping it secret from the wrong people, which is most everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we're the right people to tell about your secret gun.
Yep.
Okay.
No one trusts me. I trust no one. I don't trust Dwin with anything to do with me ever in my life ever. I am surprisingly starting to trust Lord Wenzi a little bit. Just a little bit. Mostly because he's starting to speak in terms I sympathize with.
Yeah, come to the dark
You don't
side.
trust Shifty Speaker Dwayne?
Not yet. So I think it was touched on. I don't think it's quite finished yet.
Yep.
I think once her relationship kind of builds with Wenzi, maybe Dwin, maybe someone else.
Well, I'll get there.
We'll get there.
Have you considered the gun?
Have you considered gun? So that gives me a fate. Is that right?
Which
no.
part did you work at it in? Like, was it that end conversation with Wenzi, or?
I think so. Yeah. The because she does not divulge personal opinions, or rather personal like thought freely, and I think like the fact that she was, you know, kind of letting a tiny bit of guard down kind of went a little bit to the blue side of the trust meter, the red side of the trust meter.
The one other thing that I'm thinking of is that usually there has to be like a role that was involved.
I don't think we did any roles.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So that's sort of where I'm at.
We had that one together to try and intimidate a commoner, but that was about it.
That's a stretch. It's fine.
Okay.
The politics of this land are petty. No one can see the logics around them. I will show them their wrongness. I feel like that's going to come up probably next session. Because I don't think I showed anyone. Well, I tried. I tried to show good old village boy.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I tried.
I think that one would be worth fate. Like, you did try.
Okay. Cool.
Did your best.
I did my best, but someone decided to get himself in the way.
Cool. Did any of your instincts put you in trouble or get you into a situation that...
always keep the weapon secret and available.
We gave you Persona for that one.
Did give me Persona for that one, so I don't... I wasn't alone with another person for once. Thanks, guys.
That was what that instinct was. No,
Oh, I lied. No, I wasn't alone with you. Never mind. We were just separate, but
sidebar. Yeah.
Yes. And then someone spouts political jargon. I confound them with logic. No, Ash did that. That wasn't Robin.
No.
Oops.
Okay, cool. And do you think any of your traits are on there that you want to get rewards for?
I did do a call out for the cramped hands, but I don't know if that means anything.
It didn't like change the story.
Impact anything? Yeah. No.
Okay, cool.
I don't think so.
Sweet. Let's keep going down the list. Do we want to do Dwin next?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, walk us through your beliefs then. Tell us your thoughts.
Beliefs, let's see. I think I actually kind of finished up the main one that I had was moving the church forward by determining Robin's guilt through the ancestors.
Yep.
I mean, I know that Robin was responsible for this.
Yep.
I am technically guilty.
That will technically change based on what I do with that information, because obviously there's a gray area and everything's not, one for one, but that definitely came to fruition, to a head. So
Yep.
What would that be?
So that's Persona.
Okay. Second one, I will convert my love no matter the cost so that I don't anger the ancestors. Definitely attempted that, but definitely did not succeed.
Yeah, I think Ash is further away now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that'll
But
be...
I tried.
Yep, so that's a fate point.
Yeah. And then I will pull the nobility back into the Church of the Ancestor, and I will lead them. Definitely moving towards that definitely did not succeed, so I would say another fate.
Okay, I would agree with that.
And then instincts, always dream before making big decisions. I don't know if I would count the dream at the beginning of the day, just because like I haven't like chosen to sleep on it. He's going to tomorrow before the trial, but
Yeah.
based on what he saw, but I think that comes later. That comes next session. So,
Yep.
If someone questions the ancestors, I can't help but educate them. I do think I did that.
With Octavia?
Yes.
Yep.
So,
I would agree on that.
so is that a
That'll be a fate point.
fate point? Got it. And then third one, never ask for directions. I technically kind of did ask for directions because I was like, I'll just let people tell me where to go, but
Yeah. It didn't
I
get
also
you in
kind of just
trouble.
wandered, but it didn't
Yeah.
really come up.
Yep. Cool. And are there any of your traits that you think sort of put you into an interesting position or cause
I don't-
trouble?
Think so, honestly. I mean, devout, and that's just kind of. I wasn't doing anything especially devout or curious,
Mhm.
gossipy. No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So let's hop over to Wenzi. Zach, do you want to take us through the belief?
Yeah, I don't know that I had a whole lot this time around. First one, I will use Robin's trial to prove that the current government is ineffective and needs to be replaced. Like, sorta has some stuff set up as fodder for that, but didn't really necessarily move toward it and definitely didn't close it out. I will do what I must to claim my rightful place as the kin militia leader. Really only just set up some tension there. I haven't, like, moved on that one.
I do feel like
Yeah.
between the two of these, I'm just thinking like the meeting with Octavia, I feel like sort of goes into one of those.
Yeah, like probably the second one more than anything, because it wasn't especially about
Yeah.
Robin's trial. So, like, yeah, a little bit, like,
I
at
would
least
say that
established.
it was definitely touched on. Like there was some definite like words exchanged that
There were words.
implied power struggle.
Yeah,
You did a roll, which is sort of the reason why I mentioned
fair,
it.
yeah.
Um,
I pushed at it a little bit, or attempted to, so I guess that's a fate point.
Yep.
And then this one didn't go as planned, much like for Dwayne. I must win over the kin militia chaplain, so that I may operate freely.
We both failed with Ash.
Yeah. Oops.
Sorry.
We'll circle back around on that one.
Yeah.
Oops, I'm
We'll
in
try
on
again.
PC now. Oops.
Whoops, try again.
As I was telling Maria at the first break, is that she needs to play the NPCs more in our favor next time around.
Sorry.
Like, wow, suddenly I see what you mean on this. You have my vote on everything. Instincts, nothing really that made anything more interesting. Though I really should have yelled at the weirdo kid to call me Lord, the one that threw a rotten apple at me.
Mm-hmm.
Missed opportunity. Traits. The only thing that really came up that much is scheming, and only sort of. There's not like a lot of official planning that has happened. I feel like that's more of a next session thing. A lot of my stuff I think is gonna start coming to a head.
Okay, cool. And then if we want, there's also the sort of like general nominations. So under the Earning Artha, there's a few. If we have like anyone that we feel like had the right skill at the right time or embodiment, these are under the stats and skills. Under the Artha, there's a little drop down for Earning Artha. Is there anything in there that we wanted to hand out or nominate? I don't think I have any myself.
Well, okay. I'm gonna nominate a bit of embodiment to Dwin because you're creepy as fuck.
There is that, yes.
There is that also, though.
Mhm.
Okay, sure. So that's an extra persona for Dwin. Cool. Cool. I think that's it then. So on each of your character sheets, there's a section that has Fate and Persona trackers. I'm also tracking them on the background, but I'd recommend doing them on your character sheets as well, just in case I forget to update them. Cool. So we can do our sign-offs. Do you want to go in the same order? Maria, do you want to sign off yourself and Robin?
Sure. Robin's going to sleep, and I soon will also follow to go to sleep. But hello, I am Maria. You can find me at Happy Capster on the internet, where I post about a lot of things, including all of the things that I do around here these days. Like tomorrow, we're going to be going back into space after a week off to journey to Hellbind 7 to see what is in store there with good old Tara. And he's going to be there. This is going to be great. And good old Maximilian's going to be back in action. It's going to be wonderful. All sorts of new stuff going to be coming down the pipelines pretty soon. Yeah, I'm here all the time. I love it.
Sweet. Taryn, do you want to go next?
Yeah. Hi. I'm back. I'm alive. You can find me at Twitter at TarzanOZ, as well as here on Sundays and Mondays currently. And then once the month of October rolls around, things will be picking up with Project VHS and as well season 2 of Urban Shadows. Quite excited about both of those projects, but currently, yeah, just mostly recovering from an automobile accident. So that's my life.
Cool. Thanks. Zach, do you want to go next?
Hi, yes, Zach, that's me. At the Zach Bales on the socials, you can find me there if you want, but also don't. You've already found me here for the one thing I do on this channel on this time that we're in right now. So hopefully see y'all in 2 weeks for all the good fun schemings.
Sweet. My name is Corey Hickson. You can find me here for Fight for What You Believe tonight on Saturdays. I'm also on our Invisible Sun show. We just finished our sort of like wrap up, so episodes will be as we do them. And next week we'll have our character building session on this channel. So if you want to check us out, it won't be live, it's pre-recorded. Obviously our characters are already created. And then after that, we will jump into the trial and all of the craziness that's going to be going on there. Yeah, so I think that's us. And without further ado...
That's in 2 Sundays, right?
Yep, 2 Sundays.
Yeah, next live session is 2 Sundays from now.
Yep, exactly. Cool. And without further ado, thanks everyone for tuning in, and have a good night, y'all.